俺はルフィ、海賊王になる男だ。
It's a great day here at KEKFILA's YouTube channel. I am your host, the KEKFILA, and today I have game 3 of 9 games from October 21st where I play Queen. I am going to be playing against a Zoro today. I'm just going through my cut shenanigans. I believe he won the die roll and chose to go first. I actually think going second in this matchup is good for me, and I apply a lot of my knowledge from my previous games into this, and so you'll kind of see how to normally play against Zoro as Queen. And I just also want to say, if you guys are liking the content, make sure you guys like, subscribe to my videos. You'll see everything that's going on. You know, I know there's a little bit of drama going on, but please leave your stuff in the comments and ask me any questions. I'm kind of an open book as far as things go, but without further ado, we are just going to jump right into the game as Queen. I do want to say I did change my build up a little bit from last time. But this build ran just really well for me during the tournament, other than a few games, right? So my opponent then goes first. He plays down a Buggy, and he plays down and gets a Diablo Jambe. Pretty good early on, especially to see that, but it's not really going to speed him up. I go to my turn. I pass turn. Nothing for me to do. And then my opponent then swings 7 at me, and I decide to take it. I declare a 3,000 worlds, getting rid of the Buggy. Pretty good. Actually, pretty freaking juiced, if I have to say. Plays down as an Ezo. He has a Fire Fist, and I have to think this guy's a Fire Fist the whole game. Right? And, you know, I think rarity actually does matter to me. It does. I want to say that rarity does matter to me a little bit when it comes to who I'm facing. And, especially, a Fire Fist just looks so good, even though they're not very expensive. So I think here for a long time, if I want to remove a card, if I want to place a card, it looks like I don't have a lot of very good options. I'm debating on not attacking him, and I decide I am not attacking him, and I'm going to pass and play a Sanji. So I am not attacking my opponent. So that was my thought process. He's already played 2 Searchers. His hand is just fine. And I actually asking his hand count quite often, like, hey, how many cards do you have in hand? How many cards do you have in hand? Just to make sure I'm mathing it out right. So that's something you should actually try to do when you're going through things. Actually, I think it's a really good article idea. Track your opponent hand size during the game to make sure. It's something you subconsciously think about. So I actually hit a trigger here, a Red Rock. I Red Rock and I removed the Ezo. So I hit 2 triggers so far in this game. And it's a weird thing to hit trigger on, but there's not really a lot of good options there. But he plays down a Magra, and he plays down the Gordon. Wow, his turn would have been really good if he attacked with his character first. Actually a mistake, right? So, with that as well, I guess I would remove 2 cards. I'm kind of just sitting here thinking I do want to remove one of their cards, maybe with a 3,000 worlds. Again, I'm not wanting to attack their leader. I've decided to gas everything out. I attach 2 Dawn. Oh, I swing 5. Okay, I guess I'm swinging 5 now. I don't know why I did that, but looks like I did. Like, eventually I gotta get him down in life, right? So I wasn't a complete starve. Whoopsies. I guess maybe I felt comfortable to give him a damage. So and also I'm actually skill testing my opponent if they counter out of it. I really wanted him to counter out of a 5k. So he goes 8k swinging at the Sanji, which is well, wait a minute. Oh, I blocked with that. So I wanted to make sure I stayed up in life. He plays down a other card. I actually do give him another card. I swing back at him, and then I play a 3-drop. Again, I don't have an 8-drop here on this turn. It looks like I'm trying to set up my turns going forward. I probably think about this for a moment. Actually, I'm organizing it for a good 15 seconds, I think. Okay, I'm going to draw this card, play this card. I have to kind of guess what he's going to do and what I'm going to do. And again, I have 5 Dawn left over here to do what I want to do. And I pass turn. I have nothing I want to do. I don't want to. I probably have another blocker, but why would I play a second blocker? I'm giving you a target to Fire Fist. I don't want to make it effective for you to Fire Fist. So I then wait for my opponent to make his move. He thinks here for a moment. He actually plays down a Curly Dedan. And with that Curly Dedan, he ends up seeing an Ezo, with that Ezo, he's then thinking here now what he needs to do, and I'm kind of preying on my life a little bit here. So he actually swings a big old 7 at me to begin with. I decide to... I can give him 2 cards, but he's going to swing with his leader as well, and he's going to swing with the Magura. I'm assuming he has some sort of Magura in hand with that too. So I just block out the 7k. He then swings another 7k. Again, he only has 3 Dawn, so I don't really have to expect too much of things. So I take it. I declare nothing. I'm not doing anything with that. And then my opponent still has 3 Dawn open. He plays on the Makino. Makino gets Magura pretty big here. It's another 7k at me. And I have to counter out, but do I need to over counter to do what I need to do? And I kind of queen math this. I give him a 2k and a 1k. I don't counter out anything additionally. He plays down the Ezo. Again, he's just trying to build a board. And he gets the Marco, just places that out right away. And I go to my turn. Again, this is pretty rough. I don't have a big drop out here yet. And I do play the Yamato. And I decide to KO the Jozu, because that's the biggest card I can KO. And I do gain a life. I do swing 6 at the Makino, and I had too many cards to gain a life from that, so I must have been bricked up, but I probably drew a Gum Rain, if I was to guess. That's usually the situation with these, and I'm hoping I can stall out to play multiple Yamatos. So that's probably what the goal is in this case. So he first swings 7 at me. With that 7, I give him a Gum Rain, and I ditch a Katakuri, so pretty freaking juice, right? And my opponent he swings kind of big here. He actually goes for another 7k. He's going for 7ks, which is interesting. It's either I take the damage, or I counter out of it with 2 cards, and I kind of want to counter out and take damage sometimes, so gives me the option. So I give him a 2k and a 1k for that, and I only have 1 card now. He doesn't really need to swing big anymore. And he can still build his field. He does a Magura, giving it to the Ezo. Ezo's going to swing in for 7k here. I go down to 1 life, but now I'm in a really good range. He does another Makino. Makino is now going to bump up the other Magura, and he is going to swing this Magura for huge. I'm just going to take it, because what else am I supposed to do? So my opponent has 4 rested characters. I'm hopefully going to be able to clear 3 of these, and especially if I have a Yamato in my hand at some point. So I think here for a moment, what do I get rid of? What am I going to attack? I'm going to be able to gain 2 life if I have a Yamato. Oh, looks like I don't have a Yamato, so that would have been really good. I place a 3-drop blocker. I stack the top of my life, which is very important here, especially if I'm a Yamato next for that. Right, so, and I don't really want to do too much, and my opponent does have a Diablo Jambe. I do have to really react around these sort of things, and my opponent has no Dawn up, but his hand's really massive. I actually don't know how I crawl my way out of this. I go first 8k at a Makino, killing it and getting a life. I then go 9k at the 2-drop. And I think here I have 4 Dawn. I don't want to give him a reason to. 1k counter in my hand is actually worth more than a blocker that's just going to get removed. But it looks like I do it anyway. Huh. My life must have had a blocker in it. My hand must have been pretty good. So he does start with a Fire Fist. And then he puts 1 Dawn on his leader. I'm actually not sure where this goes. Okay. Guys, I played this game, and I don't even know where this goes anymore. So, he's first swings 5 at me. I look at him dead in the eye, saying, wow, I'll give you a 1k, sir. He gives me another 5. And I think, okay, well, he can't throw a rusher at me, so I'll just give him a 2k counter. And this looks really bad, but hopefully I have things I could do on my next turn. And so my opponent here, again, he has 2 Dawn here. He still has his leader. He has to... I actually thought I lost here, too, as well. Messing this up because of Diablo Jambe. So I get the blocker out. but he can't Diablo Jambe and do this. That was the math. Okay, yeah. He can't Diablo Jambe and do that. So I'm able to live through this turn, and people are like, wait, what's going on? And obviously, 0 card life, 0 cards in hand, GG, that's what someone says. I throw 1 down on my leader to start with, actually, and I get 1 life. I swing 9, and I pay 9. Oh, yep, another Yamato, get another life, and then KO. Now his board's gone. I'm at 2 life, no cards in hand. Right, this is pretty good. Like, what a top deck. I stack the deck, right? So with the 3 cost, so that's where it goes. So and you know, Raven told me I should probably just starve Zoro, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. This is probably why I learned how to starve Zoro, actually. So he plays on a 1-drop, gets that. He gets a Fire Fist again, so seeing kind of where that goes. He already swung 9 at me. Oh no, he swung 9 at the Yamato, killing the Yamato, and then plays down the Gordon, and I'm kind of stuck here again. I'm at 2 life. I can't do another Yamato. I can, but I don't get max value out of this. And I first stack 1 on my leader. I swing 6 at his leader because I need to gain a life. I need to gain a life. And I don't even know if I want to attack with this Yamato anymore, but I'm almost in a race of things in this case, right? So he takes this one. I do swing 9 at him. So I'm actually starting to pressure him here with this game. So with that, I play down my 9-drop, and I remove the Gordon. The Gordon is the most annoying thing I can find here. And yeah, with that, my opponent, he has, 1 life. He has a big hand, but I have 0 cards in hand. He places down a Dadan, gets an Otama, which is pretty good. That Gordon Otama Fire Fist combo and killing my Yamato probably would have been like it for me. So with that too, my opponent thinks here for a long time. He swings 9, killing the Yamato. Again, probably a really good idea. He swings 5 at me because I can take it. And then I think, trigger, all red rock the Izo. Izo got red rocked. And then my opponent passes turn because I might just win the game if he doesn't leave Dawn up. So I think here for a moment, I definitely want to clear the Dadan. I don't need to win the game yet. I don't remember what I have. It looks like I'm in the tank here. I know you guys don't see it because I cover it. But I'm just like, what am I supposed to do? So, and he has an Otama. He has options to double Otama Fire Fist my Mihawk at some point. So I first play a 3-cost Doflamingo. I'm stacking my deck again. Again, I'm actually trying to dig, honestly, for Yamatos at this point. That actually might be a legit strategy. So, with that as well, I attach 1 to my Dracul Mihawk. I swing 10 at... I don't remember what I swung 10 at. Maybe the Dan? No, it's leader. Okay. I guess I'm not worried about dying this turn. I also put 1 Dawn under my Doflamingo so it doesn't get red hawked. And then I have nothing else to do with this. I think, do I go for the Dadan or go for the leader? I just get cards out if I go for his leader. If I go for his Dadan, I get more cards out, or his Dadan's dead, which is probably better to kill the Dadan. So, and it looks like I'm not afraid about 9-drops. I probably see another 9-drop as well, because I'm not exactly I'm not exactly afraid of swinging Mihawk. I wouldn't swing a Mihawk if I didn't know another 9-drop was coming. So I swing 10 at the Dadan. He actually lets it die. And with that, he Diablo Jambes immediately, killing my Mihawk with the Diablo Jambe, so I can't block it. Honestly, not a bad thing to do. And then he swings 5 at me. I get a trigger. You guys know when, like, oh, the card touched your hand, bro. You can't trigger that, but I have no hand, so he Fire Fists both my blockers, which, maybe I should have kept that Brûlée in my hand, to be honest. I think about it, but I'm getting cards out of his hand, and he discards things like Fiery Doll, so I don't have to worry about those things later. And obviously, I have something for this. I played on a Mihawk, swinging 6 at his leader, and getting a life as well. pretty good for me. He discards a Jozu to guard out of that, and I mean, I'm back at the same situation. He swings 5 at me. He needs to build a field. He places down a Buggy. Buggy is going to find a Rad Beam. He's kind of guarding out of things now, right? And my chat's actually kind of heating up now a little bit. Like, this is interesting gameplay. This is so dynamic. So with that, it places down the Izo. Izo is going to find out a Jozu. My opponent's hand's like massive now, right? So, and I'm kind of like living on the edge of my seat here every turn that goes by. So again, my opponent has 8 Dawn. He plays down a Marco just to play it down and then passes turn with 3 Dawn active. I'm thinking, well, his hand's massive. He shouldn't be afraid. But I think I count out his hand as well. I think I asked him to spread this hand out. And I think here, and I'll math this out. So he has 6 cards in his hand. And I think if I swing 6 of them, he'll have 5 cards in hand. Okay. And thinking with that, okay, you have Rad Beam. What's the best case scenario? So you have Rad Beam. I'll put the math out here, right? So if I swing 6, he'll have 5 cards to guard out at 18k, so he needs 14k counter. He actually does have capabilities of having 14k counter. So I swing 6 to see what happens first in getting a life. Okay. And I decide just to most likely take the wussy route out and just to play a card and remove it. So again, Flyest Raven told me I could probably go 9 and 15. I don't know if that actually maths out to being better, but I actually decided to swing 11. And then I place down the good old Soja King, which puts the Marco back in his hand. Pretty rough. I draw 2 cards and I'm like, oh no, there's a Yamato in here. I actually want to keep this. All I need to do is just not lose this turn. If I don't lose this turn, then I win. So I keep the 2k counter in my hand. Again, he just needs to deal 4 damage to me. He has 3 characters out, which is very likely if I brick on all of my counters in my life. So I'm trying to avoid that. So my opponent counts out his Dawn, thinks out what he should do. Obviously, if he swings 5 at me, he can do this. He's in a really rough spot. So he actually goes first 5 at my leader. I think about this one. I take the trigger. No trigger. Okay. And then my opponent, he needs to hit exactly. I have no counter. So I give him a 1k and he says, yeah, I can't win. So I'm pretty sure that's what happened after that. And I'm like, oh, thanks. GG's, bro. And then 1k counter in there. There's Katakuri in there. Honestly, super grind game. I think I maybe made some mistakes, but regardless of that, honestly, super really good. I know in my chat too, if you guys ever, please check out my stream. I kind of talk out loud. My opponent can hear me, but the chat can hear me. It's just how I kind of compartmentalize my games, and it helps me kind of remember. And it's not really a bad thing, really, when you think about it. But it's not exactly great either. But thank you, everyone, again, for watching this video. If you guys like the content, make sure you guys like and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next one. A reminder, I'll be going to Pasadena and Fort Worth in a few weeks. So see you in the next one. Ciao.